It's Toby from Heavyweight MMA today with professional MMA fighter Dom Fan as he heads into the finals of the Road to UFC event. How are you, brother?
I'm going awesome, man. I'm loving life.
Bro, I know that you've got a big match coming up, estimated to be around February. I also saw today that the UFC in Australia has been announced in February. I'm hoping that it's the same event, but I'm not. Nothing's confirmed as yet, I imagine. But hoping that's the one.
Yeah, man. To be honest, I feel like I know less about what's going on than most of the people that aren't fighting um on the road to UFC. Like fuck, people keep telling me every day, like, oh, I think you're on this card. I think you're on that card. I honestly don't know yet. So it'll be nice when I find out.
Perfect, bro. So anyway, for those that don't know, Dom's had a nice run in the Road to UFC event, which is kind of the Asia Pacific region tournament. Had two wins in a row, won by both were decision, right? But both were
Yeah.
really good fights, nice tough fights, help to improve your skills. Both, especially the first one, you're coming as an underdog, so it was nice to get the win. The second one, I was a bit worried with the strength of the dude, but you made him look not strong because of your technique. Now you came up against a Korean called Kim Sang-Wook. He's also a decent level guy, hard-headed, resilient Navy SEAL. He's had a couple of good wins. How's he feeling about that opponent?
I'm feeling awesome about it, man. I really look at this guy as like I really think I'm better than him in every single area. Like, I don't see a single place where he could win this fight. Like, I don't see any game plan where he can go, all right, game plan is let's grapple. I think that's going to go bad for him. I think if he goes, all right, game plan is let's strike. I still think I'm cleaner than him in the striking. I think I'm cleaner than him in the wrestling, and I think I got better shoot boxing than him. I do think he is, like you said, durable and tough, and I think that just worked really well for me because I get to show off a lot of skills. And I think he won't go away too early. It'll give me the chance to kind of like put a bit of a beating on him.
Bro, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like in the first fight, you're always confident, but the first fight there were some doubts because the guy was an up and comer doing really well. Second fight, I think you were pretty confident as well. Is it better to be confident or better to be nervous about an opponent or worried about their skill set?
Um, Look, I'm never 100% not worried about anyone that I'm going to fight. I think, at this point in my career, every fight from here on out, and that being the case even while I was fighting on Eternal, every fight from here on out is like there's someone that is always going to have a threat that if I get caught snoozing, that they're going to be able to take advantage of it and they'll be able to beat me. I'm in too good of a headspace nowadays. I just don't see it being a very likely thing for me to get distracted like I used to in fights. I feel I've refined the process of actually being, a professional fighter, better than ever before. I feel like I know how to replicate that good feeling that I get on fight day. Um, and like I said, I'm just getting better and better at it. So it just feels like second nature going into a fight nowadays.
Yeah, bro. And like you said, it's good that you're not too complacent because at the end of the day, something always flicks into my head from Dan Hooker saying even his wife could hurt him punching him with these little UFC gloves, right? So you don't really want to get hit
Yeah.
by anyone. And this guy, Kim, is a specimen. He's a strong, fit looking guy. He's not like exceptional in anything that you said, like you said, but he hits hard. He knows how to grapple. So you can't be too complacent, right? And he had two wins
And
as well. So
yeah, and yeah, great fights he had, but he is also massive. That is a big deal as well. Um, I don't know if you saw his post fight interview last time, but he reckoned he started his fight camp at 92,
Jeez.
which is ginormous.
Yeah.
And he looked it when I was facing off against him in person. He looks big, but like I've taken bigger guys down before. Like it feels no different to me.
Yeah, man. And just I was actually also thinking, bro, like the seeing Quillan's success, your nemesis Quillan Salkilld, seeing his success, do you get any satisfaction in seeing his success? I think you would, right? Because you took him to a much tougher win in the first fight than any of his recent fights in UFC, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think both of our fights had a lot more back and forth than any of any of his other fights. I think he's pretty much just walked through everyone. But like to his credit as well, like all the fights that I've had against anyone else, like I've beaten them very convincingly. Like I haven't had a lot of close fights. Like that last fight was all my fights that were decision. Last one was 30-27. So like I won all three rounds. The one before that was 29-27 because I had 10-8'd the guy in one round. And the other fights before that were all 30-27 for decisions. And then the rest of the guys I fought I finished. So um man, like I feel like both Quillan and I succeeding in our careers from here on out only like gives credit to the other one, you know. So like I think it just adds to both of our stock.
And while I was kind of waiting for you, man, I was just thinking like best case scenario, you beat Kim Sang-Wook, you go into the UFC. It's really out of the fucking frying pan into the fire, bro. Like that division is stacked as shit, right? And there are a few
Yeah.
older guys in there that have been around for a while, but they're such big names with such good experience. You just think of the guys at the top and it's massive, you know. Ilya's running that show now, although what's his name? Islam is really the champion. He just moved up. So Islam, Arman, Sarukian, Charlie Olives, Max Holloway, Gaethje, Paddy, Dan Hooker, Chandler, Dariush, Rufi, all these guns in the top, and that's not even to mention all the guys below him you got to get past.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I think it is 100% a stacked division. At the same time, I think it's a division that's kind of looks like it's coming to a point where there's going to be like kind of a bit of a passing of the guard. So I think that the faces that by the time that I get to the top 15, I think the faces that are like, you know, top 5, top 10 are going to be very different than you know what's around at the moment. That being said, yeah, to me, lightweight has always been the most exciting division. So like I am thrilled to be a part of that. And at the end of the day, when I decided to start fighting, I didn't want to just be like fighting and having easy fights, man. Like I'm excited about the idea of you know fighting a few killers, man. Like flying across the world and fighting some killer in his backyard. That's really really cool to me.
And just because you've been following it for a while, and you're also like a big student of the game, bro. Who would excite you the most? If you could pick any of those guys that are there now in the future to fight, who would it be? Who would you like to be staring across at?
Oh man. Um Man, I really reckon Oliveira is just such a legend of the game. I feel like he's pretty much as close as you can get to like a complete, well-rounded martial artist, just like a threat from every single position. That'd be cool. That'd be really, really exciting. Yeah, that'd be a dream. I don't know if the time wise will kind of line up because, like I said, I think a lot of those guys are like getting a little bit older now. I feel like he's maybe 34 or something.
Mm.
But fuck, that would be cool, man, for sure.
And how important is it for you to get into the UFC? It must be a super important fight when you think about the journey you've been on, how much you've devoted to this. I mean, it's your whole life. And then looking to the future as well. I think we discussed you want to move into being a coach, etc. in the future, or you already are, but move into that more full time after fighting. So it's quite an important part of that, right? To reach the, you know, the pinnacle of your sport to then transfer over there. It gives you a lot more legitimacy, right?
Yeah, man. Like my entire last what like 8 years of my life have been dedicated to nothing but fighting. You know, I'm not someone that goes out a whole lot. I'm not someone that like I've talked about before has too many hobbies. Like I've pretty much just been training um and looking to try to get better. So absolutely it definitely will mean the world to me like when I get signed into the UFC. That is definitely my first lifelong goal accomplished. But like that being said, like I know it's not done there. Like, man, I don't want to just get in the UFC. I want to get in the UFC and I want to get a name for myself. I want to make some strides. I want to beat some notable people. Um, yeah, I'm not just here to take part, you know?
Here to take over.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro. You got to come up with a new one. Hey, I don't know how much you want to give away, but it sounds like when you fight Kim Sang-Wook, you're willing to take it anywhere. What's anything you're willing to give away for prediction for the fight?
I think I think he has some success usually, based off of the fact that a lot of people seem to be worried about grappling him. Like they're a little bit like the last guy that he fought in the semifinals seemed to only be able to throw one shot and then had to move away because he didn't want to be in that range where he's potentially getting grappled against. I think that I'm a much better grappler than him. And to me, this means that I have the freedom to, if I want, stay in the pocket and kind of sit in the fire and like have the two of us trade a little bit, you know? I think, I really do think I hit a lot harder than him. I think I'm cleaner in my striking than him. I'm eager to test that out.
Nice, bro. He's even in my limited low level jiu-jitsu knowledge, I can see he's got I can see he's got a lot of holes, right? Like there's a lot of looseness in his game, a lot of openings, right, in that
Mm.
last fight anyway.
What was it that you saw?
Just nothing. He just wasn't tight. There was just like I said, there's a lot of little holes. They kept escaping each
Mm.
other's positions and moving around a lot.
Yes.
And neither of them were really, really as they weren't able to control each other as well as some of the guys I've seen, such as yourself.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think my style with the grappling is is unique on an international level as well. I think there's not a lot of people that grapple quite the same way that I do. Um it's just different, and I think people don't understand it until they feel it. And then when they feel it, it's kind of too late. Also, man, like a lot of these Asian countries don't seem to be doing a lot of violent ground and pound. Um, and yeah, I think this guy kind of like when he grapples, he's grappling. When I'm grappling, but I'm looking to take your head off as well. And I see that also being a thing that will give me a bit of an advantage.
True, bro. Mate, last little question. Team Compton MMA. How's it all going there? How's the team? Who are we looking out for in your team?
Team's going phenomenal, man. Really, really good. Uh, Definitely a few up and coming killers, man. Ethan Mitchell is a big one. That dude has just had like bad luck after bad luck.
Yeah,
Like with his fights. Like I think his record is like 1-2 with one no contest.
yeah.
But man, if you ever watch that guy fight, or if you ever see him train, like it's honestly like he's from the fucking Matrix. The dude moves so fast. His reaction speed is so good. His decision making is so clinical. Um, I honestly reckon he's like a case of like a bit of a Jack Della. Like as he comes in, when he gets into like a fight, and he's able to have that full self belief in himself. I really just reckon he's just going to run through everyone that he ever fights. Another one that's coming up is Aiden Gould, a youngster. Crazy skills, absolutely phenomenal skills. I think he's just turned either 19 or 20, but he's young and he's so talented. It's definitely a case of like like with each generation, I think we get a little bit better. And it's like looking at him as like a 19-year-old, it's like, fuck, he would have beat the shit out of me when I was 19. That wouldn't have even been competitive. So it's cool to think of where guys like that will be by the time they're my age.
Yeah, true, bro. Hey, you mentioned Jack Della. His fight, man, I don't know what your thoughts were, but when he fought Bilal, as soon as he started, you could see how much of a flow state he was in. Like I was just like, fuck, this guy's
Yeah.
on, you know what I mean? And when he fought
Yeah.
what's his name, Islam, he just didn't have that flow from the start. Maybe it's a psychological thing, maybe it's an injury, I'm not really sure, but it
Yeah.
was a whole different Jack there. It really wasn't the same guy, even from the start. So what do you think?
Yeah. Well, look, I think in the Bilal fight, there was a real significant moment where you could see, like, I think it was like I want to say like in the second round, early in the second round, where he defended, I think maybe the second shot, and he had kind of like, you always see like, right, yeah, I can do this. And then from then on, everything looked really clean. But I do feel like the first bit of the fight looked a little bit, not as flowy. And I think Islam just being so much more clinical than someone like Bilal, I think Islam is just so much to deal with, man. I also think Jack spent a lot of energy in trying to get up against Islam, and I think that can really sit in your head, like when you really sent it to try to get up and then weren't able to get up, it's kind of like, damn. So if I get taken down by this guy, that's round over. And the second that that's in your head, I think that's scary. And that being said, man, I also reckon Islam looked better than ever. I think he's been fighting diminished at lightweight this whole time based off of that performance. That was
Yeah.
like phenomenal,
Yeah.
crazy to watch.
And bro, I give you a difficult question because UFC fighters are always confident, especially the top level MMA fighters are confident, no matter what. Most people walk around thinking they can't be beaten by anyone. But Islam, you're a grappling based fighter. Of course, you've got all round skills, but your base is grappling. How do you go against Islam?
Well, number one, I think Islam is massive.
Yeah.
Um, that would definitely be. You know what? I still back myself. I don't know. I like to think. Here's my thing. I do like to think that I time takedowns better than anyone that I see out there. I think that's a skill that I'll be really be able to like utilize and kind of lean on throughout my fights. I think I'm doing it better than a lot of people. And look, when we saw GSP back in the day out wrestling a bunch of people who were better like wrestlers than him, but he just had like phenomenal shoot boxing, phenomenal timing. And that's an area that I've worked a lot on here at Team Compton. So I don't know. I think I definitely reckon like if we went skill for skill, I'm sure his striking's better than mine. His wrestling's better than mine. But I like to think that if I was to time the takedown, I like to think I would go all right.
I can't remember him on his back. Have we seen him on his back lately? It hasn't been for a while, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like if you when Habib was fighting, I remember there were a few fights where he was able to be put on his back from some shots. Almost like a lot of people were like, "I'm not going to risk grappling with this guy," but some people took it head on and actually put him on his back. So I think with some of those guys, that's a good approach. Like some of the best grapplers, it's a good idea to just try to force them onto their back.
True. All right, bro. Thanks for your time. Just want to have a quick chat. Looking forward to you heading into the lightweight finals. Kim Sang-Wook, Road to UFC Season 4. Potentially February, potentially Australia, but who knows? Could be anywhere in this region. But looking forward to watching. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to your success.
Thank you, bro. Cheers for having me.
Cheers. Thanks, bro.